Thank you, Madam Chair. In the Health Insurance and Environment Committee, we added two key amendments. Number one, we specifically targeted this legislation to insulin, so took out all other types of diabetes-related medication that were not insulin-based. And two, we made this a transparency measure across the supply chain, so to add in pharmacy benefit managers, insurers, pharmacists, the entire supply chain was added.
Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the adoption of the Health Insurance and Environment Report. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Health Insurance and Environment Committee report is adopted. To the bill. Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, today across Colorado and across the country, hundreds of people, some of them as young as 6 months old, and their families will hear the words, "You have type 1 diabetes." It can happen to any family and has struck thousands of families every single year in all of your districts. Luckily, there is a medication that if taken many times a day, diabetics can stay alive. That medication is insulin. Medical insulin was invented in the 1920s. In the mid-90s, a longer-lasting insulin was developed, and a few forms of that are the most commonly used types of insulin today across the world. However, the actual quality of insulin has not changed in any significant way since the 90s. What has changed is the price. Humalog, for example, has soared from $21 a vial in 1996 to $278 per vial just last year. That's a 1,223% increase, a 700% increase with inflation. There are only 3 companies that make insulin. There is no generic form. All 3 companies have been raising their prices at nearly identical rates at identical times over the last 2 decades. Now, because if they do not purchase insulin, they will die, Coloradans with diabetes and their insurance carriers are literally held hostage to these companies that have been increasing the price, the list price, dramatically. Someone with a high deductible or someone with no insurance is literally paying over $1,000 a month for their insulin when only 20 years ago they were paying $90 a month for the exact same product. House Bill 1009 is not a price control measure. It is a transparency measure based on bipartisan legislation that has been successful in other states. And it is transparency across the entire supply chain. Manufacturers, PBMs, insurers, everyone. I am not trying to target anyone specific. This bill is just looking for basic answers because that is what Coloradans with diabetes and their families deserve. If the prices of insulin have to be raised so drastically, consumers deserve a simple answer to the question, why? This transparency is for a population of our state that has in an incredibly unique position. People who have to buy a product for which there is limited suppliers, and where there has been an astronomical increase in price in a product that has not changed in quality. Let them know what goes into these price increases. They are going to use their hard-earned dollars to purchase the product anyway. They have to or they will die. They at least deserve to know why the price is increased at such an astronomical level. I ask for an aye vote on House Bill 1009.